What's up everybody, I'm quickly interrupting ahead of this video. Welcome to the channel of course, but quickly wanted to shout out the Signal group we have, which is a group in which I share all of my trades. For example, also this maker trade that we took over the course of this week. But we also, for example, bought Bitcoin at 101,000, which hopefully it's still trading higher at this point of time, but it went to 107,000. But I also released a new trading guide in which I fully explain one of the main strategies that I use to trade. So not only will you get profitable signals, you're also able to learn how to become a profitable trader yourself. So if you want to join, that sounds interesting, links will be down in the description. For now, enjoy the video. Bye. Good morning everybody, welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. I hope you're all doing great and welcome to this new video right here on Ethereum. Your daily update, we're going to do a full update on the current situation for Ethereum, which has been pretty good. I mean, we got a decent bounce right here from the 200 EMA. A little bit unexpected. I thought, or at least I thought it was most likely, or at least I thought it was best to assume that we would have another move into the lows right here. So towards 2460 and 2400 perhaps even. But the opening of the market this week was actually quite against our expectations, quite optimistic. I mean, if you take a look at the S&P 500 pre-market, for example, so basically equities, those are trading almost at higher highs, which, yes, I mean, it sounds difficult to believe given the fundamental circumstances right now in the world, but that is how the market has opened, right? So I do think we need to be a little bit on the cautious side because it is a Monday morning, which is historically, you know, never the price actually you want to put too much trust in, and we still have to see the US session and the New York Open over the course of today and see whether we can actually keep up this bullish momentum for equities as it is right now. But ultimately what that means for Ethereum is that we front ran my expectation a little bit, because I always said that I thought it was most likely we would still get up to the top of the range. And that is essentially what we are doing right now, right? I mean, Ethereum now reached 2640. We haven't hit the major resistance levels yet. And we still have some imbalances here to the upside as well. I mean, we basically have fair value gaps all the way up to 2800, and then we also have a single print right here at 2680, and a naked POC at 2760. So basically to the upside, the same levels that we were at last week, but also the same levels we've tested over the course of the last month are again within reach. And I have to say that, you know, under the current fundamentals and under the current circumstances, I almost have to say that I think it's most likely we're going to get up there. For Ethereum, the situation is a little bit different than for Bitcoin, where for Ethereum, the volume that we had this morning has actually been quite good. Now, the Asian session over the course of the last month or 3 months or so has also been quite good for Ethereum. So I do think it's going to be tested over the course of today. And since we did hit a resistance level right here, and since, you know, this is a Monday morning, and the fundamentals are still quite uncertain, I would say on the short term, I think it's a little bit more likely that we're going to test these imbalances to the downside, right? Because with the move we made over the course of this morning, we also left some imbalances to the downside. So now we have imbalances and basically magnets pulling us from both sides. I would say, given the instability and given what we've seen from price action from Ethereum in the last 2 months or so, I would say it's a little bit more likely we're going to pull back. But as long as equities remain relatively stable, which I think we have to assume is going to happen, I do think Ethereum will be able to hold the POC, the point of control area, around 2540. And I do think that after filling those imbalances to the downside, like obviously we are still very dependent on the fundamentals, right? So I kind of assume that you know by now. But if we see a major escalation in the Middle East, for example, are we going to drop down below the POC then? Yes, right. So it's certainly a possibility when we're so dependent on the fundamentals. Everything is a possibility. But I do think for now, given the fundamentals and given the price action we've seen over the course of this morning, I would say it's most likely that from that imbalance fill, we will rally up higher into 2680. Where we have that single print, but potentially also higher into imbalances higher. But I'll keep you updated on that as well. For now, I'd say this is most likely, so that's what you'll have to work with. Hopefully it's valuable for all of you. But for now, that's it. So have a great week, have a great Monday, take care, and bye.